What is going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, the first video of 2017. Yes. To my new subscribers, recent new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I hope you will enjoy the content that will be forthcoming. And for the other subscribers that have been supportive of me, have been riding with me since day one, thank y'all so much. But we finally made it to another year, 2017. And I don't want to go into 2017 without talking about what happened in 2016. So let's talk about, obviously, what was the X Plus figure of the year of 2016? Let's find out.
Yeah! Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? What? Yeah! Y'all ready to play some football? Just tell me. Let's go! If you want it, you can get it. Let me know.
What is going on, people? LP 2000, my back at you with another video. Yes, like I mentioned in the intro, the first video of 2017. Yes. And today I'm going to be talking about, we'll be talking about, my personal opinion of what the best figure from X Plus was in 2016. And let me preface this by saying this, ladies and gentlemen, this is just my opinion. You know what I mean? It's just my opinion, and the thoughts and the points I will cover in this video is all from my perspective, and we can all agree to disagree. So I want to just get it out there, because I know in this community people are very have high opinions of things, and they're very opinionated, and they're very strong with their convictions. But I want to just let everybody know this is just my opinion and things what I've seen online over the past year. Hopefully y'all will agree with me. If not, it's okay. You know, it's cool to agree to disagree. So let me start off by saying, wow, what a wonderful year X Plus had in 2016. Wonderful as far as releases, but financial aggressive is maybe be a good term to describe it. Financially stressful. Yeah, it was kind of a stressful year to be a collector in 2016. I even said at the end of 2015 that because 2015 was a great year for X Plus. You know, we had the Mothra 1964, the Gigan 1972 30cm Rick with the lighted visor. Still a great Rick Boy figure in that one right there. The Sakai 91, which was arguably the figure of the year. Godzilla 2014, the Gigantic Series Godzilla 2000. Who else came out? Destroyer, the 25cm Destroyer. I can't forget about him, Destroyer. The Biollante Rick Boy set with the Godzilla 1989. The 25cm Burning Godzilla. I know that was kind of a subjective, but still, those were some great releases that came out in 2015. And I said at the end of that year that X Plus was going to try and outdo 2016 of 2015. And boy, did they ever. That's an understatement. Considering the stuff that they brought out last year was phenomenal, amazing. You know, amazing to the point where it was stressing a lot of collectors out, which I will talk about in a few seconds. But let me just tell you what I went through personally as far as my year of collecting 2016. As you can see, mind you, I didn't get every release that came out in 2016. I don't really know anybody that did. I know maybe one or two people that got almost close to everything. I don't want to disclose their names, but you know who you are. But this is like a good majority of the, at least the big pieces that came out in 2016. For me personally, I started off the year and I got my first figure from 2016 in January. Thanks to Jeffrey Mulett. Thank you very much, sir. You know what I'm talking about. I got the Wonderfest Kiryu that came out on the Summer Wonderfest Kiryu in 2015. And was it 2015? Yeah, it was. It was 2015. I'm sorry. Just a new year just get me all discombobulated. But yeah, it was Wonderfest Kiryu with the blue backpack and the guns that came out in 2015. And I was not able to get my hands on it until January 2016 because of Jeffrey. He was selling it, so I got my hands on it. So thanks to him, I got it. Thank you so much. Then the next month, February, the Sakai GMK, an awesome figure, and the Godzilla 2000 Rick Boy, Godzilla 2014 Rick Boy with the blue fins that you see right here came out in February. And as a matter of fact, they came out within 2 weeks from each other. Little did I know that was going to be like a foreshadowing of things to come as far as 2016 goes. Yes, a great piece in 2014. Rick Boy. At first I wasn't going to get it, but you know, after persuasion from my fellow collectors, y'all know what y'all were doing. Y'all really knew what y'all were doing. I was able to get my hands on it, and it's a wonderful piece. The 2014 Godzilla design is not up there for my favorite Godzilla designs. I mean, I do enjoy it for what it was. And I was, at the time, just fine with my standard, because I had the 2014 standard, but this really is a good piece. Even though it is somewhat similar to the 2014, the regular one, it's vastly different because of the pose and the blue translucent dorsal plates on the back. So yes, this was a great grab for me to get. Then around March, the Train Biter, the 1954 30cm Train Biter, was going to be first a Rick Boy exclusive, or an exclusive piece. It was not going to be a mainstream release, but they changed their minds on that, because you know X Plus is always thinking about our money, and so they were produced massively, so every retailer can get their hands on it. It was no longer an exclusive. So I got that. I got it from my wife, actually. Yes, that's her figure. But yes, great piece. Really is a great piece. Then I think around, was it April? Around April, I was able to get my hands on the Gamera and Baragon set. 1966, from my favorite Gamera film of all time, in case you don't know, Gamera vs. Baragon. So that was a great grab for me. Oh, let me back up a little bit. I was able to get the Gigan and Megalon Wonderfest set that came out in Winter Wonderfest last year, which was one step closer for me completing my Godzilla vs. Megalon setup, which I'll talk about in a few seconds. And then yeah, so yeah, that was cool. So yes, what was last? Yes, Gamera vs. Baragon. Loved that film, my favorite film of the Gamera films, and I was so happy and lucky to finally get that set. Then in May, we had Batra, an awesome figure. Then in June, we had the release of the reissue of the Jet Jaguar 25cm with the light up eyes. This is the standard. You know, I was able to get this from a fellow collector, Jeremy Souls. Thank you very much. Once again, one step closer of having my Godzilla vs. Megalon perfect setup. Then also we had the gigantic Godzilla 1962 that came out. Oh yes, wasn't that a fun time? Despite the problems, you know, around the time the gigantic 62 had like problems, like it came in like with deflated arms and deflated tails, just random damages on certain figures, which was unfortunate, but for the most part, solid release right there. Then in July, that was after G-Fest, where most of our people who went to G-Fest, where most of our funds were depleted. They came out with the gigantic series, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord. I forgot what the name of it is in Japanese, Zayu Ranger or something, whatever. But yes, that was the one that kind of got away from me this year. That was the one figure that I really wanted to get, but I was not able to get my hands on it. That Megazord, I really did want to get my hands on that, but hey, that's the thrill about being a collector. Sometimes when you miss out on something, it just makes you more motivated to try and capture it somewhere down the line. Then in August, what else? Mechagodzilla 1975. Once again, just for me, that was an unexpected hit. You know, it's an awesome piece, and to me, I think it's superior to the 25cm Mechagodzilla 1975. Yes, that was a really unexpected hit for me. When I pre-ordered, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm happy that I was getting it, but I had no idea it was going to be this awesome when I had it in hand, and it had the Rip Boy option. Very awesome. Then in September, and this was around the time when X Plus was just flooding the marketplace with releases, to the point where I was questioning X Plus for doing that, you know, because it got to the point where they were putting out all these different releases, and some of these were big releases, all at the same time, that it caused collectors to pick and choose of what they wanted to get because they couldn't afford them all. Like I said, I only know 1 or 2 people that were able to get a good majority of these, but the timing of these releases to me was just questionable. So in September we saw the release of Kamacuras, which is once again an underrated monster, but a great figure to have. They did a great job with Kamacuras. The Godzilla 1973 25cm, once again, which completes my Godzilla vs. Megalon 25cm lineup. I was happy to finally get that missing piece. And the fact that it was affordable, the fact that it wasn't horrendously overpriced, to me, that would probably make that figure of the year right there, for the fact that this thing wasn't overpriced. Then what else came out in September? Legion. Oh my God, I can't forget about Legion. Once again, I've been waiting for Legion because I'm a huge Gamma fan, and I know a lot of folks out there are not into Gamma like that, but I am. I know a lot of folks that are into Gamma. So when they finally decided to bring out Legion, it was awesome, and they did a great job. They did a great job. What else came out in September? They had a new 25cm Gamma 1996 with an alternate head. At least an alternate different head sculpt from the previous 25cm Gamma 1996 to go with Legion. So that was a good piece. Now, mind you, I'm thinking off the top of my head, I know I probably won't get to every figure release that came out, just the ones that stuck out to me personally as a collector. Who else? Also, the gigantic GMK reissue right here. Yes, I just have to say this. This thing is amazing. It really is amazing. It took me a while to get my hands on one, but I'm glad I finally did, because at first, once again, like the 2014 Rip Boy, I wasn't planning on getting this. But after persuasion, and since I am a huge GMK fan, like my wife, I just had to get it, you know. I mean, it's the same sculpt as the original gigantic GMK, but the fact it's a darker paint scheme and the translucent dorsal plates with the blue makes it stand out. And plus with the Rip Boy option with the base here, with the logo, the title of the film on the front of it, as well as the sub, just made it once again, just another piece I had to have. But yes, this was a great piece to have, and I'm glad to finally get my hands on it. Then in October, we had the release of the gigantic 54, a gigantic series Godzilla 1954. Jujutsu Kai, another great piece. The gigantic Ultraman when he's not falling down. And who else came out in October? I think those were only two. I mean, I know there's a couple more. Oh, the Godzilla 1984 Rip Boy with the LED lights in his back. That came out, I think, in October. And then later on throughout the year, we saw the release of the gigantic series Godzilla 1995 with the Burning Godzilla as a frozen version. We saw a release of the Final Wars Gigan in an alternate paint scheme, a darker paint scheme. We had the 30cm Diamondgen, even though it had its problems, but that came out. Once again, it was an awesome piece. And I think the last piece, or at least one of the last major pieces to come out, was the Sakai 92, which is once again another awesome piece. Do I say it's in the running to go neck and neck with Sakai 91? It depends on your perspective, but I'm going to do a review on that in the near future, so be on the lookout for that. But if you got this figure, you know what I'm talking about. This really is a good piece, the Sakai 92. Not to mention the San Diego Comic-Con gigantic Burning Godzilla came out, I think, in August, as well as the Son of Godzilla Wonderfest set with the 25cm Godzilla 1967, Dominion, and a Kumonga with red eyes came out in around August or whatever. So those are the major releases that came out this year, and it was really, really a fun time. Now, before I go into my pick of figure of the year, let me go with three runners up that to me could have been figure of the year if it wasn't for the one that I already picked, you know. So yes, I have to get set up here, so I have to just put these figures here so I can, you know, show y'all what my runners up were. But before I do that, yes, this was an awesome year. It really was. Not like I said, with the problems of the fact of the timing of these releases was kind of questionable. I felt bad for the fact that, you know, like I said, in September we saw the release of Legion and this gigantic Burning Godzilla. I know for a fact that some people opted to get the gigantic GMK. Excuse me. The gigantic GMK. I know I said gigantic Burning Godzilla. Too many gigantics. Whatever. The gigantic GMK reissue and Legion came out in the same month of September. I know some people opted to get this one over Legion, and I know there's some people that opted to get Legion over the gigantic GMK because you couldn't afford both, because these were really a good chunk of change. So it's just one of those problems that I hope that X Plus will correct in 2017, because they have given no indication that they're going to slow down with the releases. But I hope that, because one thing 2016 taught me is to be a smarter collector. You know what I mean? Don't try to go after everything just because it's X Plus. You know, just try and bide your time and just not try to pre-order a whole bunch of things, and then you're hit with like multiple payment invoices at the same time, and you're wondering how you're going to pay for these. And some people may resort to selling old figures to get new figures. I don't want to see people do that. So my advice for 2017, since I know they're not going to slow down, is just try to be a smarter collector, try to plan things out, budget wise. Try to find out what you really want versus things you may like or whatever, and just apply those techniques to make you a better collector and a smarter collector. That way you'll value more of what you already have versus, like, you know, buying one thing one month and selling it the next month to get something new, you know, because you really wasting money when you do stuff like that, you know what I mean? So that's my advice for 2017. So let me get set up here with my 3 runners up for figure of the year, and then we'll finish up with my pick for figure of the year. Now I think you know who I'm going to pick as figure of the year, but let's do a little guessing game until that happens. But for right now, let's get set up here with my 3 runners up. All right, let's go. Okay, folks, I'm back with my 3 runners up. And can you blame me? Can you really blame me? Wow, y'all could have made it. Wow. In case you don't know, of course, this is the 30 centimeter Batra, the 25 centimeter Legion, and of course the gigantic Gazelle 1954 Yuji Sakai. And yes. I mean, these are my 3 runners up for figure of the year. Let's start with Batra. Because when Batra came out in May, early June, once again, I was blown away by the craftsmanship, the detail, just the incredible work that they put into this Batra. You know, even though it was based off a resin sculpt from Goro, X Plus did a great job converting this thing to vinyl. You know what I mean? They did a great job. Like I said, it exceeded all my expectations, despite the fact that there's a good size. But the paint scheme, just the texture on, like, his horn, the translucent material on his horn, just like I said, the paint scheme, just his skin, just the spikes and everything. His, you know, I guess claws or whatever. Just they really did a great job with Batra. You know what I mean? And even if you don't think it's even if you don't think it's figure of the year or whatever, I really suggest you like just think that over a little bit, because this really is a great piece. Whether you like the film or not, whether you're a fan of Batra or not, they did a great job with this piece right here. Then you go to daggone Legion, my God, and they made a Legion a while ago, but it was a smaller version before X Plus started to make more accurate and I guess bigger sculpts. But they did a great job with this piece right here. They really did an awesome, superb job. Of course, it wasn't without its problems. I heard problems that a mandible was like broken off here and there, but for the most part, this was a solid release as well. Just the fact that they were able to pull this figure off, you know, because there was a time where I thought that X Plus was never going to get to a figure this complicated, you know, as Legion. But with the way they pulled it off successfully with the paint and the detail and the sculpt and everything, the way they nailed it, it just leaves me hopeful for seeing more complicated monsters come down the pipeline, like a Megaguirus, which is a complicated monster to make, or an Orga, or what else is complicated? Maybe a flying form of Batra. You never know. But this X Plus Legion proves, or this Legion proves that X Plus can basically do anything that they desire. You know, just a matter of time and a matter of when. You know, but this makes me really, really hopeful. But other than that, once again, this is another solid runner up for figure of the year. Then you go to October with the X Plus Gigantic Series Gazelle 1954. Unquestionably, like I said, this is the quintessential piece if you're a Gazelle 1954 fan of the film, of the suit, or whatever. My only gripe with it is that there are times where it looks like it's a Yuji Sakai piece, and there are times where it doesn't. And that may be probably the one thing why this keeps this from being figure of the year for me. Once again, this is my opinion. But all in all, it's a figure that I've grown to love more and more as I look at it, you know. But the detail on this thing is nice. It's really superb, whatever. Just that, like I said, in certain angles, in certain respects, it does look like a Yuji Sakai piece, and there's some times where it doesn't. Like, that's the only thing that keeps it from being figure of the year. But either way, all 3 of these figures to me are definitive runners up for figure of the year. And if you choose one of these as figure of the year, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because there's no official poll. I mean, there's some like on Facebook groups, whatever, but there's nothing officially says that this is a figure of the year or that's a figure of the year. It's really subjective, and it's really all from your perspective. Because X Plus has done a great job with the releases that they've done this year, and these 3, as well as the my pick for figure of the year, are the top, or like the cream of the crop this year. So, but yeah, y'all almost made it. Y'all almost made it. I'm sorry. I mean, these are great pieces. Don't get me wrong, but there can only be one there can only be one figure of the year. And I think you kind of know know who it is. If you've been following the videos, or at least, excuse me, if you've been paying attention during the course of this video, and at least been paying attention to my videos over the past couple months and the way I've been praising about this guy, then you probably have a good idea on which is the figure of the year. I know the people in the S Plus Collectors Facebook group, my fellow members in the S Plus Collectors Facebook group, already know what the figure of the year is. In case everybody else that don't know, let's find out personally for me what is or what was the X Plus figure of the year 2016. Let's find out. Okay, folks. Okay, we're finally here. And obviously, did you think it was going to be anybody else? I mean, come on. And you know what? This is just my opinion, but I know a lot of folks out there will share that opinion. So, of course, the figure of the year from X Plus of 2016 is, of course, the X Plus Gigantic Series Godzilla 1962. Woo! Yes, yes, yes. Once again, this is just my opinion, folks. Just my opinion. To me, this was the best figure of 2016 from X Plus. And that was a title that he really had to fight for, because if you saw in the last segment with Legion, the Gigantic 54, and Batra, he had to fight for that title because X Plus did a phenomenal job with the sculpts and the figures that they brought out this year. You know what I mean? And once again, like I mentioned, it's subjective of what you may feel is the figure of the year. Like I mentioned before with 25 centimeter 1973 Godzilla, it's the fact that that figure came out affordable versus being horrendously overpriced. I'm sure a lot of folks would consider that to be a figure of the year. I know that figure was a piece that a lot of folks were trying to get for a long time. So if you feel that way, then you know what? I can't argue with you. But like I said, to me, the cream of the crop, the best that X Plus had to offer was the Gigantic Series Godzilla 1962. And the fact that, you know, when they announced plans to bring this figure out, we thought the 54 was going to be coming out first, but they did a gigantic, no pun intended, but then again, pun intended, bait and switch and decided to bring us the 62 first versus the 54, which made a lot of folks happy, me included. Even though I still wanted the 54 at some point, I'm glad that they finally made us the 62 first, you know, and like I said, unquestionably for me, the best figure from X Plus of 2016 is the Gigantic Series Godzilla 1962, you know, and if you agree with that, that's fine. If you don't, that is still fine. You know, we can always agree to disagree, but for my money, the best is right here. So why don't you pipe down in the comment section of what you may feel is the best figure from X Plus 2016, and plus me, there are plenty to choose from. Like I said, from Legion to Batra to Kamacuras to the 2014 Rip Boy Godzilla, the Mecha Godzilla 1975, the Gigantic Series Megazord, the Train Biter, the 54 Train Biter, the Sakai 92. Trust me, there are plenty of candidates of what could have been the figure of the year 2016. But for me, it's this guy right here. And obviously, with 2017 already here, obviously X Plus is not is slowing down. I predict they will try and outdo this year, you know, from last year, which is a good thing, a bad thing for our wallets, but you know, it's a good thing because I'm hoping, I'm really excited to see what they may bring out to us in the next year. And they already made plans or made an announcement for some cool pieces to come out, like the Mecha Godzilla 1993 30 centimeter, Kazagedor. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Yes, a 25 centimeter Kazagedor from Final Wars is coming. A 30 centimeter Burning Godzilla is coming. A 25 centimeter Titanosaurus is coming. You know, we could see something from any of the kaiju properties that came out in 1967, like Ultra 7, Agappa. I don't think they'll do anything with Son Godzilla because they did that last year. But we could get something from 1967, you know, any kaiju properties from that year. So yes, this year is going to be really interesting. And considering how X Plus really blew everything out of the water last year with their releases, I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. And I see this to be a very interesting and exciting year for X Plus fans and X Plus collectors. So that pretty much concludes my video or my pick for the X Plus figure of the year. Of course, I'm talking about the Godzilla 1962 Gigantic Series, where you have the Ripboard understanding. You can't go wrong with this piece right here. All right. So that's pretty much it. And more videos are coming. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for riding with me. Thank you so much for being supportive and loyal to me and my channel. I really do appreciate it. A lot more stuff is coming. And just sit tight and enjoy the ride. And we'll have a great time in 2017 as we did in 2016. All right. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see y'all again on the next figure and move review. All right. Y'all take it easy.